Welcome to Locked and Loaded Sports. It's time to lock in, load up, and win big. If you're serious about sports and love cashing in on solid picks, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get to work. Every week, we will be focusing on under-the-radar DFS options who offer strong production for their price. From smart roster construction tips to our final pick, which will be an ultimate boom or bust tournament play. This breakdown should get you ready to build winning lineups. Before we get started, we have to point out last week on our Week 7 picks video, we hit on the highest scoring QB with Bo Nix and the highest scoring tight end in Oran Gazdan, who was only priced at $3,300. Our other picks were solid too. The only bust was Rashid Shaheed, who turned 6 targets into 8 DraftKings points. The opportunity was there, he just couldn't produce against the stifling Patriots defense. Moving onward to Week 8. And for our first player to recommend, we head to Philly, where Jalen Hurts enters Week 8 priced as the third highest QB on the slate at $6,600. And he's primed to smash value in what sets up as a textbook get-right revenge game against the Giants. Philadelphia was embarrassed by New York in Week 6, losing 34-17 in a game where the Eagles were outplayed and outcoached. Expect a very different outcome this time around in Philly, with Hurts and the offense hitting their stride. In Week 7, Hurts completed an ultra-efficient 19 of 23 passes for 326 yards and 3 touchdowns against Minnesota, displaying elite downfield accuracy and decision-making. He averaged 12.4 air yards per target, connecting on deep strikes of 37-79 and 26 yards, including a dagger 45-yard bomb to A.J. Brown that sealed the game. While his rushing production was minimal 4 carries, minus 10 yards, the game script and downfield success eliminated the need for his legs. That upside remains fully intact. The matchup couldn't be juicier. The Giants are allowing 24 points per game through 7 weeks and have been vulnerable to explosive plays. The Giants now face an Eagles team with something to prove at home, with extra motivation and a red-hot passing attack. Hurts has shown he can deliver ceiling games through the air and on the ground. At $6,600, so you're getting a top-tier QB1 in a high motivation, high upside spot at a relative discount. We are getting locked and loaded with Jalen Hurts. Before we dive into our next pick, we want to take a quick moment to say thank you. We just passed the 200 subscriber mark, and it's all because of you. We truly appreciate your support and are grateful to have you along for the ride. Now let's get into our next player who has had some subpar performances in back-to-back games. And that player is James Cook, who is in a strong position to deliver value for DraftKings players in Week 8, priced at a reasonable $6,700. A modest discount from his season-high salary of $7,400 back in Week 5. Coming off a bye week with fresh legs and a healthier offensive unit. With Josh Allen under center, a quarterback who has never lost after a bye week, the Bills are well positioned to control the game script, which bodes well for Cook's volume on the ground. In Week 6, Cook rushed 17 times for 87 yards in a tough loss to the Falcons, showing flashes of efficiency even as the offense sputtered due to key injuries and the absence of explosive plays. His involvement was consistent, and the coaching staff continues to lean on him as the primary option in the backfield. The splits between Cook's production and wins versus losses are clear, and with the Bills favored to bounce back on the road, he should be in line for a more complete and productive outing. Due to his recent quiet performances and moderate price, Cook's ownership is unlikely to spike, making him a sharp tournament play with potential for 100 total yards and touchdown upside. In a post-bye matchup against the Panthers, Cook is well positioned to remind DFS players why he opened the season as a high upside RB2 with consistent volume. We are getting locked and loaded with James Cook. Please hit that like button. We appreciate you. For our next player to key in on, we head to Baltimore, where Zay Flowers is shaping up as a strong value play for DraftKings in Week 8 at just $5,400, which is a notable discount compared to his Week 4 price of $6,700. After a quiet Week 6 outing where he caught 6 of 10 targets for 46 yards and lost 2 fumbles, Flowers now returns from the bye with a refreshed Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson expected back under center. His recent struggles came without Jackson, and the difference in offensive rhythm and playmaking potential with Lamar on the field is significant. The matchup against the Chicago Bears further boosts Flowers' outlook. While the Bears have not given up the most yardage overall, they have allowed 10 passing touchdowns in just 3 road games, exposing their vulnerability when their defense is on the road. Flowers, still leading all Ravens wide receivers in targets and yardage, and seem restored to benefit from improved quarterback play and a favorable game script at home. At his discounted price, Flowers offers reliable target volume with big playability. With a full week to reset, he is positioned for a bounce-back performance. This is an ideal spot for a breakout, and DFS players should take advantage of the value before his price climbs again. We are getting locked and loaded with Zay Flowers. If you have any questions for our DFS team, don't forget to leave a comment. We'll get back to you. Our next player to key in on enters Week 8 as one of the best value plays at tight end on DraftKings. Dalton Schultz is priced at just $3,300 despite coming off his most productive fantasy performance of the season. In Week 7, Schultz caught 9 of 10 targets for 98 yards, showing chemistry with quarterback C.J. Stroud and proving he can be a reliable safety valve when the Texans' receiving corps is thinned out. With Nico Collins still dealing with a concussion and Christian Kirk battling a hamstring issue, Schultz is likely to remain heavily involved in the passing game. This week, the Texans face a 49ers defense that has been surprisingly vulnerable to tight ends, allowing 5 touchdowns to the position through 7 weeks. Playing at home and coming off back-to-back games where he has returned well over value, Schultz is in an excellent spot to continue that trend. His role in the offense is growing at the right time, and his price remains far below similarly productive tight ends, giving DFS players a cheap yet high upside option at a volatile position. Given his recent usage, the matchup, and the price, Schultz offers one of the most efficient paths to fantasy production on the slate. He should be firmly in play for cash games and tournaments alike. Especially for those looking to save salary without sacrificing target volume, we are getting locked and loaded with Dalton Schultz. Check us out on Instagram. There's a link in the description. As we mentioned in the beginning of our video, we are going to focus our last recommendation on a super value play that could boom or bust, but will ultimately give you major flexibility when it comes to roster construction on DraftKings. So, if you are digging for low-cost upside at wide receiver in Week 8 DFS, Tez Johnson is a name to circle. With injuries reshaping the Buccaneers' receiving depth chart, Johnson steps into a larger role at just $4,300 on DraftKings, making him one of the most intriguing boom or bust plays on the slate. Johnson is coming off a Week 7 performance where he caught 4 of 9 targets for 58 yards and a touchdown in a loss to the Lions. His involvement increased noticeably as the game progressed, with Mike Evans exiting early due to a broken collarbone and fellow rookie Emeka Egbuka seeing a reduced first-half workload. With Evans already ruled out and Chris Godwin clearly laboring through injury, Johnson is in prime position to see meaningful snaps and targets again this week. The matchup adds to the appeal. The Saints have allowed 14 receiving touchdowns through 7 weeks, the 6th most in the NFL, and have shown vulnerability in the red zone and against speed receivers. Johnson's ability to separate downfield gives him the tools to exploit this secondary, and it would not be surprising to see the Buccaneers take a few deep shots in his direction. At his price, Johnson only needs one big play to pay off, and the opportunity for increased usage is already baked in. While he carries some risk, his ceiling makes him a strong tournament option for DFS players looking to gain leverage in large field contests. We are getting locked and loaded with Tez Johnson. That wraps up another breakdown here on Locked and Loaded Sports. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest sports analysis and betting insights. More picks, more locks, and more action is coming your way. That's all for now. Stay sharp, stay ready, and get locked and loaded.